it like converges with his like his
Oh
whole
shit!
philosophy,
Found out
purpose.
about the
So,
fucking Age of Worms.
All right, I'm back.
And tied to it being like like
yeah, that'll be
turning
harder.
people into undead. So like I don't
That'll
think
be
there's
harder.
any bigger threat.
He got to
than
die
what
in that
people-
one. You right. He probably got to die in that one. Then Rock already died once, so it wouldn't be too weird for him to finally deal with something that's too strong and not wanting to back down. That's honestly actually like if Lewis really wanted to go that route and I had to like lead the group for some reason, him dying in combat is probably the best way for him to go anyway. Because I don't see him as a person that runs like y'all see how he is. He just be going into shit. So like at some point maybe he'll just be unlucky. And it might make sense for him to get bopped for real. It just is what it is, But yeah, it's definitely gonna be harder to like try to keep him around if I'm not at the wheel, because turning him into like a subplot or anything like that just seems weird if you ask me.
Yeah, it'll be difficult.
It seems weird. Like you want to talk about contrived, that'll be contrived as fuck.
Yeah, because he's more of a man of like immediate action. Like I don't know.
Yeah, he's more like that. Yeah, he's jumping into shit. You worry about the consequences later. Like I think honestly, thanks to like Lewis plot armor, that whole idea isn't supposed to be like foolproof. I actually expect him to get into some shit and probably get himself bopped at some point. Like I really hope Lewis ain't like pulling punches.
No,
He died, bro.
He kind of had to do that because it was like everything is supposed to happen round by round, but he did it out of order. Kind of by accident because we were doing role play and he was kind of bouncing in between people. So then realized, all right, if combat is started, then we have to go by combat rules rather than like RP rules where there's no actual order to things. So he had to go back and go in order. And then that means if things are going in order and we're hearing noises and we're hearing combat already initiated, then people will be taking different actions than if we weren't hearing.
Yeah.
Those are sounds that we were hearing, we're supposed to be hearing in real time, but because we're busy role playing on top of each other rather than like going round to round based on combat.
Yeah.
It just seemed jarring, like, oh yeah, you hear Rothgar.
But what's in that spell book?
Fighting for his life and shit. Motherfuckers like,
yeah, y'all just chilling downstairs like, are you gonna help him? Nah, I thought you was gonna help him. That's crazy. Oh shit. Yeah, Age of Worms is a different animal. That group is something else, man. You good, Lou?
Yep.
You good, Lewis?
Anyway.
You ready to go, man? All right, let's see your time. Let's get it going, man.
We go ahead and get up out of here.
All right. Well, since that's your total roll, and I see hers, she's the first to go, and she rushes over towards Nasir, the same quickness as she did upon Rakim. Seems familiar to him, that's for sure. You see her activating her key energy as she unleashes a furious flurry of blows. As Nasir does his best to dodge and block and deflect and leap over any attack that's coming his way using his training and his intuition, the guidance of his teachings, his reflexes.
You see, this bitch punched me off the style, right? Yeah, there it is.
Oh god.
Boom. I'm out the sky.
Oh, she mad now. She mad now.
Boom.
Twice. I'm gonna teach you Wilson.
She's mad now.
14.
That's exactly what she said. She was like, y'all not about to embarrass me 2 times.
Not the both of y'all. Not the both of y'all.
Hey, Rakim, get prepared to carry Nasir back, man.
Damn.
Right.
Hopefully not accidentally in a body bag.
Oh shit.
That. So she hit.
All right. What's your
I
What's
can
your
see
yeah.
Raheem talking shit now.
Nasir, I told you to work on your defenses. Show the praise, Sergeant.
I don't know, man. You got enough HP though. You should be good.
No, not enough for all that.
She only
Full
dealt.
damage.
She only did
good.
4 points of damage.
Look at that. You good? There you go.
Let's see.
I'd be getting high for her
Non-lethal
hits.
damage.
I'd be getting high for her hits, but when it comes to damage,
Like a bitch.
Jab style.
Use the unarmed attack, the flurry of blows with the jab style. What's that? Plus
yeah, check
Plus
your total
4.
bonus. Yeah, I think yeah, she had +4, so 1d20 +4 twice.
Wasn't it 5?
Oh yeah. I guess just add it up. Is it 5 or 4? Oh, I got the plus. It says +4. I don't know if there's a +1 on there. I don't know how to say is that. So
Shit.
Oh boy. This might be good, man.
So we got a duel, people.
Oh,
Bro, roll high damage. Please
Yeah.
roll high damage.
Yeah, speaking of duels.
2, 6 to 8.
one.
Let's go.
We are using duel.
The first one is what? The first trick, and then is jab style afterwards, right?
We are
For the
using
second hit.
the dual combat rules. There's her armor class. Ooh, does she want to take that chance though? I don't know. You know what? Take it. Yeah, roll damage for both hits connected.
So the first one is 1d6 and the next one is 2d6?
Jab style.
Jab style?
Yeah, jabbing style will kick in when you hit a target with an unarmed strike and you have hit that target. Previously,
so the
that
first
round you deal an extra 1d6.
6, 6. Let's go.
Yeah, 1d6 plus what do you got? 3, and then 1d6 plus 3, and then just a regular 1d6.
So is it 1d6 plus 3, then another one?
So that's the first hit. Yeah. And now roll 1d6 plus 3. And now one more d6.
Getting body.
Regular d6.
Let's go.
Damn.
Oh, you just a regular d6.
Yeah, now just a d6 by itself.
Yo. Watch, it's natural 6.
Oh, that's okay. That's a lot of damage, bro.
15, bro.
Damn.
Points of damage.
Your character,
She couldn't beat Ryu.
so right after your as your character stumbles back from like the couple of hits she landed on you,
No way.
you both get into you both staring at each other, and then you she's like for an opening. You're looking for yours. She rushes in. You guys exchange a couple of blows, and then you find your opening and you hit her. As soon as you hit her, she got where you struck her. You were able to find another opening, and you were able to get into your rhythm. And you basically 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And her head snapped back a few times, and like you could see like a look in her eyes, like she was
This motherfucker.
like she was like she looked like she was about to lose consciousness, but then she like snapped back. And yeah, he dealt a total of 15 points of non-lethal damage.
Do you yield?
She Alright, so
I'm just kind of in the corner with my arms folded, and I see that. I'm just like.
She takes a deep breath and she goes in for another flurry. You see her using her key again, but this time she's not using it to. She's not using her key to increase her of her attacks. Instead, she uses it for defense this time.
15 didn't take her out?
No.
She got that HP.
How much?
Word.
Okay. I gotta see if that first one's a crit.
Oh, crit, baby. Don't do me like that.
Critical hit.
Damn, I'm out of here.
Close.
See you later, fellas.
Damn.
I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm out.
You really pissed her off, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he almost had her. He almost he at least
2 points off.
if that D6 was
she
like
was
a
2
man.
points off.
Nah, she has what'd you do? 15 damage. She probably
Stop.
if you had a higher
17 was a magic number.
Nah, she yielded at 17, so she's got more than that.
Yeah. If you had dealt over 17 or over, and she was still conscious, she would have yielded right there. She'd have been like, okay. She'd been like, the brothers no joke there. Okay.
Well, no, I think.
But no, she's still impressed. Like, even though it must be like the as you guys were thinking, the desperation not to lose twice. to those
not to be free.
I can't do no save I can't do no dodge or defense. I can't do nothing to get away. I can't do nothing. It's over for me.
I normally in a combat duel, yes, there is. You can as an immediate action in a combat duel say that you want to do a parry. Oh well, you know what? You could either parry or dodge. The dodging obviously isn't gonna help much because it's a natural 20. You can attempt to parry that.
Okay.
Although parrying that it's an attack roll.
A 20.
Yeah, you're gonna need a natural 20 yourself to even.
20 it is.
Hey, just go for it. Worst that can happen if you don't get it.
I don't get no pluses. It's just a bear.
I mean, it's pluses, but
you have to match the roll. So like you have to beat her attack roll.
I just got to roll 20.
He has to. You have to roll 20. Yeah, that's the match. 20 plus. Oh man, what is it? Oh, it's at a -5 penalty on top of that. If this attack roll is equal to or greater than the attack roll being made, they parry the attack. That's considered a miss. Oh, you would have to get higher than what she rolled anyway. The other thing you could have done was the dueling dodge, but the dueling dodge wouldn't matter anyway because it was natural 20. That always hits. Dueling dodge was immediate action, add a +4 circumstance bonus to your AC and on reflex saves. But it only applies to one attack, which the attack that you want it to apply to that triggered it.
Yeah.
And then but because of that,
but it was just the 20 that killed me.
Yeah,
it was the 20. It was the 20. She got lucky pretty much. It was the 20. She got lucky. Managed to maneuver herself into the fight, find a perfect open to hit you in your solar. She put her hands on the ground and like lifted up with both her legs and like kicked outward and hit your solar plexus, and she was ready to like keep going after that until she realized like not only did she knock wind out of you, but your lights are out. you dropped.
Damn.
So
I'm sort of giving like the slow clap.
definitely
Well fought.
definitely a much quicker match than with Rakim, but the desperation was there because unlike with Rakim's situation, unlike with Rakim's situation, Nasir was able to pack on the damage very quickly, due to his style. Rakim was hard to hit, and Nasir was hard to take a hit from.
That's how we set them up.
That's how we set
So she takes a deep breath and she like leans over and she leans down at him and like sits him up. She's like, "Don't worry, I have these herbs that'll wake him up and he'll be able to
Smelling the salts.
yeah, similar to smelling salts, but she
Pull
goes
this mask down real quick. To give it
she goes but there are these special herbs that not only will like waken him quicker, but he'll be able to recover faster as well. It's basically this, these special herbs that he has where he'll heal his non-lethal damage twice as fast for the day.
That was an impressive display.
She
I guess I'm just knocked out, right?
Yeah.
she goes, if anything was, she's like, I'm going to redirect that towards him. I'd have to say that he's the one that's impressive. You both are, and I can definitely see and understand the fighting styles that you two have been taught and learned to and plan to master for yourselves. She goes, now that I have an understanding of that, it'll be easier for me to train you in more advanced techniques and eventually to awaken your key centers.
I look forward to it.
And she's like, these were also good for me, good training for me as well. I still have much to learn.
I have not seen many people who can take a hit like that from Nasir and continue on. That was something else. He's
indeed.
He packs a real punch.
It was a very close match. I can admit that. And like she describes how like if his if he had more if he had been trained more and was able to like put more power into his attacks and with more accuracy, like she would have been done. But essentially saying in a game mechanics sense, like if he was high level, he had a higher arm damage, or if he rolled higher for damage, like she'd have been done.
Yep.
So yeah, with that, I mean, eventually it doesn't take long. It took like I'd say he wakes up within the hour, and
I wake up and look at my kid. What happened?
Did I win?
Did I win?
One of those moments.
Almost, brother. He may have faltered a little bit at a critical moment. Maybe next time.
Fuck all that shit.
She's like, all right.
How bad was it?
It was close. It was very close, actually. You definitely put on the display. It's just She answered back a little harder this time.
Too strong.
And it seems we have.
Make our way then.
She goes, it also seems we have a little visitor here. You can come out, dear. I know you're over there. And like hiding behind like a training dummy, you can see Glora with her mask on that you got her.
Oh snap!
And she seems kind of shy at first, but like she slowly comes out. She starts like she stands more tall and like with like more confidence, and she starts to like strut over. She's like, "You got lucky. I think he would have gotten you very quickly." So
Fangirling, bro.
So Sable
Got fans.
Sable smiles and she's like, she's like, I see you have quite the eye for the martial arts there, little one. And she goes over to Nacia and she's like she goes over to Nacia and she's like, and she looks at him, she like lifts her mask up, and she was like, that was awesome. I thought you did great too.
Damn, son, I got a little protege, bro.
He's not supposed to roll over. I'm rubbing his chest. He's like, thank you. I'll get it next time.
She's like,
how are you doing?
She's like, well, I heard you were still in town, and I kind of was curious about what you were doing, and she looks around the place, and she's like, I know normally I'm not supposed to be in here, but I had to see. And then she looked over at Sable, and she's like, I want to join. I want to fight, and I want to fight like he does. So Sable chuckles a bit. She's like, well, there's room for more students. She's like, and then she goes, of course, there will have to be permission from either a parent or a guardian of yours. And with that, she like her face like starts to go sad, and then she looked like she was about to cry for a second, and then she shakes her head. She's like, she goes, she goes, you don't have to worry about that. I'm coming no matter what. And Sable's like, she goes, you seem familiar. I do believe I recall you having a mother. And Glora goes, yes, I do. And whether she says no or not, I'm still going to learn. I'm still going to do this. It's my choice. And
who's her mother?
Besides, who's going to be able to protect her if I don't do this? She's still in bed. She was horribly burned by those goblins. And she starts to like, that's when like the tears start to come down. As hard as she was like trying to fight it back. She's like, those stupid goblins. And she like goes over to a dummy. She starts punching it. She tries to like mimic like the way Nasir was fighting. She's like, stupid.
Nasir walks over.
Goblins,
Nasir walks
hate
over and
them.
I
hate
like, no.
Goblins. I hate them all.
See Nasir walk over. He's like, nah, little one. He bends down and he's like, first, let me show you one thing. And he shows how to make a fist. He's like, yeah, he sort of takes a hand and he's like, you ball your hand like this, and he teaches how to make a fist, and he's like, I want you to practice this every day. He shows her how to throw just a straight punch at the dummy.
And she's like this.
I see her nods, and
She like,
yeah, she's like, she gets it. She's almost a little natural fighter. Kind of reminds him of his her attitude reminds him of his mother. Okay.
she's like, what's helping? I'm imagining this being stupid goblin's face, and that's gonna be his teeth. And you can tell that she's just got this like this anger in her, this hatred now, this welling hatred for goblins. She's like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be strong like you, and I'm gonna kill every goblin that's out there. Goblin here in Varisia, everywhere, even the hobgoblins.
There it is.
She maybe should just lift the mask and be like,
She's evil.
She's gonna be disappointed.
I don't know if she's evil. I think she probably specs for the wrong class. She may want to go into being a ranger.
So she looks at Nasir and
Ranger?
she looks at Nasir and she starts to cry some more, and she's like, why do they have to do that to us? Why do they have to hurt my mom like that? She's like bawling. She grabs onto his robe. She's like, why are they like that? Is there even such a thing as a good goblin? Are they all like this?
Wow. Man, Lewis is trying to fish it out of you, bro. Show your true form.
You happy? Forgot that I have a trait that just stops all that. I don't really.
That's crazy.
I think
That is actually crazy.
I have a trait for shit like that. So
Dang, Lewis, with the plot points here.
And he looks at him and he's like, looks at the little girl and they're not all bad. Family humans are all good. No.
So she cries some more, and then she starts to calm down some. She's sniffling. She's like, oh, maybe you're right. I don't know. But I do know I want to learn how to fight too.
We're definitely going to show you that.
So they, as the day goes on, and your characters run their errands, it's you see that it's getting close to that time for the shops to actually, yeah, she says it's getting time for like the shops to close down, and everybody's gonna get ready to like.
I need to find.
Oh
Icarus at some point.
yes. All right. Yeah. So I guess you tell Nasir. You tell Nasir to that you'll be right back. You have to get checked out at the cathedral.
Well, I'd also want to discuss it with Nasir as well.
Yeah, actually. Oh yeah. Because I was like, really, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. I already know.
So
I really don't know in game. I might. Just
so we're by us. If I'm by myself with Nasir first, I gotta ask him. So, all jokes aside, brother, I feel something is not right. I'm like I said, feel like shit. Do you not feel it? Is it just me? Are you okay?
That last fight was Sybil. Can't blame that fight on Sybil. I'm blaming this fight on Sybil on cold.
Sybil aside. Do you feel normal? Do you feel okay?
When I fought Sable, I don't know. There was moments of just flashes weakness. I can't explain it, but I had to ignore it. I'm not gonna blame it.
You know that I'm not one to avoid discomfort. This, however, feels a little different. I feel weak from the inside. Allowing that sort of thing to continue is against everything we're about. I mean, what I do to myself is one thing, but the inside is different. That's
I agree. How we go for hope.
And unfortunately, that means we're probably going to have to show someone who we are. It's quite possible.
You know what this means. You know what this means, brother. You know what this means.
So
screaming, children crying.
Well,
Tired of it.
Right.
I don't want to take my mask off.
Perhaps we won't have to, but if we do, the only person in my mind I can think of that can handle this is Icarus. And quite possibly she would also be discreet. Maybe.
Fire witch? At this point, I don't see any other option.
She's hinted at sort of being in a similar predicament, staying low.
I still have to apologize for cracking that up.
Nigga said the fire witch. This nigga said the fire witch. You better put some respect on my name.
All right, then let's let's rip the bandage off, as they say, and hopefully go somewhere.
I don't. You know, we're simple. We're simple.
We'll talk it over with her. So we're gonna find Icarus.
Yeah. Let's go do this shit.
I'm probably in the cathedral right now.
Okay. So if we walk in and you're there, I don't.
I mean, you could walk there and ask around where she's at, and people tell you. They're like, oh, she's usually with Hana, and they direct you where Hana is located. He said Hana's usually at her home, or she's usually helping out at the cathedral. So you find out that Hana's at home, that her and Icarus had gone to the cathedral. You head over there, and they direct you to them. But before you walk in, sometime before you walk in, Hana and Icarus, the two of you are like in a little infirmary room, and there's this middle-aged woman that's in there with you, and Hana had just finished patching her up, right? 'Cause she got some severe burns on her arm from when the goblins attacked. And she tells the woman, she's like, make sure you put those ointments on right before you go back to bed and change those bandages. And the woman's like, yes, Hana, I will. And she looks over to Icarus and she goes, thank you so much for your help as well, dear. And she goes, my spitting image, almost a spitting image, as if oh well, a shame.
Inquisitive. No problem. I'm glad I can help, but if you don't mind indulging me, spitting image of whom?
Oh, it's just people have been. It's nothing bad. You resemble, at least you resemble a girl that used to. She used to be the daughter of the previous of the previous priest before for the first cathedral before it was burnt down, and that terrible fire. She's like, oh well, I must be off. My husband's waiting for me. So Hana bids her farewell, and Hana looks over to Icarus, and she's like, "Yeah, you must be. I have a feeling you might be tired of hearing that."
She chuckles. Honestly, this is definitely not the first time I've heard it. And it gets me interested to know who this person is. I don't want one person to automatically assume that I'm this person back from the dead.
Hana understands, and she's like, "Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday." Which isn't much, since us elves do perceive time differently, as the humans tell us, like to remind us all the time. Well, originally this wasn't as big as this cathedral. Is a lot bigger than what it used to be. It actually used to be a chapel. It was known as Sandpoint Chapel, and it was just 5 years ago that a blazing inferno just suddenly happened, and it burned the entire chapel down, along with some of the North Coast stables, the White Deer Inn, and 3 other homes. But it was the church that ended up burning completely to the ground, and the town's beloved priest, Father Ezakian Tobin, and his daughter Nualia were the ones that perished. Everyone else was able to make it out safely, or with minor injuries. Wasn't his biological daughter, though. You see, he was a priest of Desna, and he adopted her. He adopted her because she was rescued, from what I recall. Not exactly sure from where, but she was an orphan. They didn't really talk much about her past, but he adopted her as his own. Although, I'd have to say, as good of a priest he wasn't exactly that great of a father. I could tell from the times that I've known Nualia that she felt very burdened. She felt very pressured by the kind of woman that her father had wanted her to be. He pushed her way too hard. I could tell there was some resentment in her eyes at times that she would interact with him. I've tried talking to him about it, but yeah, he brushed it aside. Said it was just a phase that she was going through, especially considering the trauma of her past, which I don't know much of. The few times I was able to talk to Nualia, she was afraid to talk about her past. All she said was she came from a land that felt like a nightmare. And as she didn't really remember much, or chose not to remember much, I'm sure. When I asked her if she had any family, or was she all alone back in the land she came from, she did mention that she did have a little sister.
Yo, shit.
Her little sister was she said was way too young to remember her. But well, anyway, we've got more patients to see.
I understand where she coming from, as I was from a land of nightmares that hunt my kind. And I was chosen for such a terrible ritual that would have ended in my death. Couldn't imagine not having the support of my parents. Well, at the time, I didn't understand why they did the things they did. I think them selling me in turn saved my life.
Mm.
I was angry at them during that time because I didn't know. But it led me here. And maybe one day I'll go back. Maybe one day they'll escape and find me. But for now, I know that they instilled the drive to make sure I can do whatever I can to make sure that the people I am around are safe and cared for as they cared for me. I think I would have enjoyed to know this woman.
He goes, yeah. I mean, not this, not to echo what everyone else is saying, but there does seem to be a resemblance between the two of you. Well, I'm sure you would have. I'm sure.
Neighborhood about what this is.
I'm sure you would have gotten along well with her, though, and she would have. She would have glad to have been friends with someone such as yourself. You've been doing good here, and I'm glad that you're slowly making this place feel more like home for you. And the people here do admire you. And she goes, "Oh, there's one more patient." As she like looks down like outside, and she sees like one of the other clergy like wave over to her as if there was like another patient. She's like, "Well, I'll let you handle this one. I'm gonna go back to the shop. Things organized." She heads out as the next patient comes in, and it's Rakeem.
Eyes widen. Oh.
Greetings, Icarus.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to be our last appointment today, but I'm glad to see you.
We require your skills, as much as it pains me to ask, and quite possibly your discretion.
She leans forward. Discretion regarding?
Nasir and I have fallen ill somehow after. I'm just start coughing again.
She immediately stands up and kind of like ushers towards you to take it easy.
Oh, it's just Rakeem.
It's
It's just Rakeem. You don't. It's just Rakeem. Only Rakeem is having symptoms. Nasir doesn't know.
He's not.
He doesn't know if he's infected.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he doesn't know if he's infected also
Right.
or not. Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't
Okay.
say Nasir then. I said me. But still, are we like alone in this place here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a small
It's
room,
essentially
just the
my
two.
quote unquote office.
Well,
Perfect.
But is the door locked though?
They still have HIPAA and Sandpoint, okay?
He said, wow.
in any case, I woke up feeling unnaturally weaker. I feel slower. This is not normal. This is not a common cold. There's something wrong, and I don't know who else to go to with this.
Thing. When did you start having these symptoms?
That would be this morning.
And do you have an idea of where you might have become contact with something that would have made you feel this way?
Would I put that together with the ogre goo, or is that Lou? Like, would I have
And
any idea?
after the maybe say after the last fight.
I mean, he could mention that the only thing you could. I mean, he could mention the only thing, that
So,
they could.
yeah,
He could recall might
the
be
only
affected
thing,
by the zombie.
yeah.
The zombie shit.
The only thing out of the ordinary would have been that pus-filled ogre zombie that exploded on us.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let me please lie down. Let me take a look at you.
All right.
Look, you see Nasir perk up like, look.
How much of a look? I kind of sit down.
You're gonna have to do all the tests.
You are my patient,
right?
So I kind of have to go through a good portion of the test to make sure that you're okay. So that will require you to remove all of your clothing.
Gotta cup your balls. You gotta
and
cough.
So here's what I said. So, and here comes the part where we require your discretion. I trust.
Nasir walk over.
You can see kind of an unnerved feeling from it.
I trust my Raya with our lives. She has told us that we can trust all of you. I've always believed that trust is something that you earn through action rather than words. And I had hoped I would have a lot more time to earn yours before this moment. And I think you'll understand why. I kind of look at Nasir for like a.
I'm gonna look you back and like, and I trust my brother, so I have to trust you. So.
And I start taking the mask off.
You see Nasir slowly start to pull up his the mask, revealing
shit.
sexy hobgoblin.
Icarus, there is like a
flyest hobgoblin in all the lands.
There is clearly a thick silence from Icarus.
Sexy. What's your charisma score?
And the first thing
I'm joking. Charisma score is like
first thing she says, she goes, "Wow."
Well, it's better than the screams we normally get.
Right. I'm definitely used to crying. I'm definitely used to crying, bro. Crying usually gets
chuckles. She chuckles. She goes, "Oh, guys, I'm from Nendal. There's not much that can."
Nendal?
Screaming. It's a story for another time. Are you asking me to keep your identity secret?
For the time being, I feel that would be best. The more it gets around, I mean,
they just got attacked by goblins. I don't think it's best.
I'm pretty sure if anyone knew, if we walked in here without doing this, we would have been blamed for this entire attack the second it happened.
In our experience, humans lack a lot of compassion. So,
to be fair,
I'd rather not find out the hard.
Out of game,
as he cracks his whip.
Right.
If
you cracked it, do you actually crack the whip? Please tell me you do.
Yeah.
That was just me talking shit. My bad.
Because listen, I will I'm a rat.
I'm a rat.
Caldum is aware of what we are.
Oh, I thought the whip was a kink.
Excuse me. I was a former
Damn.
slave.
Ooh,
Massa.
ooh. Oh, that's true. That's true. Got that PTSD going on.
He's a
Yeah,
former
right? That's what
slave.
it sounds like, yeah.
They called me Kunta.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
You said
Damn.
Kunta.
This
That's
is
crazy.
dark.
Toby!
Yoga.
What you
Dark.
say to me, Toby?
Literally.
So Luna takes a long, deep breath, and she kind of chuckles just a little.
Luna?
Bit more. Sorry.
Damn, so it's like not let that go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
See, I'm glad it's impossible for me to slip into my Monday night character because he's like a little Irish halfling. So like,
Give me my bitch back. Give me Thursday now.
not that easy.
Icarus chuckles one more time and like lets out a deep breath. And she goes, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. Humans can be very, very vile. And with everything that's happened right now, it would make sense why you would want to withhold your true identity. But what about those in our group? Do you believe that they ought to know the people that they are traveling with or working with, rather?
They know the people they're working with. You know we're here to help them.
But
They
your
know we're here to
identity,
help.
who you really are, or what?
Might be a good time to let them know who in the party knows who you really are.
Oh, we
mentioned it earlier.
did. Yeah, we let her know.
Well, they Caldum
Now
knows.
that
They only,
Caldum knows.
only his brothers
Yeah.
don't know fully.
I missed that.
yet.
Yeah, Waylon out of game. Waylon and Quindamere doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last
details
two
don't
left.
know.
Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. Kaldim knows.
Oh no, I said it.
said
I
it.
guess
He
it
just-
was
he
just
lost
said it.
in the,
Okay.
Yeah,
he just said
he
it.
said it in
Yeah,
the
he
beginning.
just
He
said
said
it.
in the beginning.
And Kaldim and Waylon.
Caldum is the only
I
one
mean,
who knows at this
Quindamere
point.
and Waylon.
Quindamere knows? What the fuck?
When did
No,
you
he
know?
doesn't.
When you know.
That's
You
why
never
she's
told me
asking.
that.
I thought-
she's asking.
The
I
fuck you
thought
mean you
only
know?
I thought only Caldum knew.
Yeah,
That's
only
why she's
Caldum's the only
asking.
one that
She
knows.
she's asking, what about them? They would be the only two that don't know.
Oh,
At this point in time, correct.
That's what I'm saying. Like, welcome to the club, Icarus.
no.
Well, she's saying that they deserve to know too.
In due time.
See. Well, you can trust me to know that it is not my secret to tell. It is not genuine for me to give out information that is not mine. If I were to have a 2 cents, I would believe that it would rather be sooner than later to tell Quindamere and Waylon your true identities.
It was hard enough for me at this point to ask you for help on this.
All right.
See,
As you can see, we're not the
well,
But I will take what you're saying into
Type.
consideration. If we are traveling with them, I understand they should know.
she kind of lights a fire in her hand and she goes, as a person who is trying to hide what they are to the general public of fear of retribution, it is safe for you to know that your secret is safe with me.
Yes, yeah. I see her get kind of hypnotized by the fire.
Yep.
He has a little thing for fire.
So what you would notice as well is that Nasir, straight up hobgoblin, however he wants to describe himself, myself, completely covered in fucking scars, burns, like I am a hideous motherfucker.
Damn.
But a lot of them are very almost like wherever I've taken a hit, you see like cuts that look like they were put there purposely
Okay.
around them. So it's sort of organized, but not. But very intentional injuries and things inflicted. And I guess I always kind of pictured night vision as like, you know, that when light reflects off a cat's eyes, it has that shine to it kind of thing. Mine don't have that.
Oh.
Very dull and normal, almost a little lighter, like almost like going blind.
So I'm assuming you're naked at this point, right?
I'm taking off whatever the hell it was you told me to take off. So
She
yeah.
ushers you to lay in the bed that is in the room.
All right.
She tells you to basically get naked.
All right.
Basically get naked, fully naked. And as she's like, she kind of like gently rubs her hands around you, and then she mentions, "You have a lot of scars. Are these from battle?"
Others I put there myself.
Ooh. Distracted. Why are the exclamation marks after the
All right,
D20?
I see the exclamation.
No clue. Wait.
Because he be trying to do exploding dice.
There we go.
Cheating.
No,
IT.
Cheating now.
It's always on compounded for some reason.
Compounded. All right.
There we go. That's better.
All right. You look it over and you instantly recognize, you know, after just a few minutes, you're like, okay. You realize what the disease is. You realize that he is infected. He's infected with a particular disease. This disease definitely came from the zombie that just exploded its fucking shit all over him and Nasir. There's a possibility that Nasir may also be infected, although he hasn't shown any symptoms at all. But with Rakim, so Icarus basically tells Rakim that he has been infected with a disease known as zombie rot.
Zombie 19.
So she explains, and she looks at Nasir, and she goes, "It is possible you are infected too, so I have to examine you as well."
Zombie rot is a disease. Could take anywhere between, you know, the next day or a few days for it to actually show its symptoms, but once it does affect the person, it eats away at their immune system, it eats away at their health, it eats away at their endurance, their stamina. It just at a slow rate, day by day. Should one die from the infection, within hours they will rise as a plague zombie themselves.
Damn. Neutralize poison is a 4th level spell. What type of shit is that?
So you basically will take 1d2.
That's some loose shit.
Taking some.
That's some loose shit. That is.
You take 1d2 Constitution damage each day that you.
You level 1? Yeah. Die.
1d2. Each day you have to roll a Fortitude save. If you fail, you take another 1d2 Constitution damage. If you pass, great. As the way she explains, you know, the disease and what has to be done to get it treated right. So in game mechanics, you got to get 2 consecutive saves to completely get it cured, and out of your system. So the next day when you roll it and you pass, great. The day after, if that second roll also passes, the, you know, infection's gone.
So I would have to treat them twice for them to get the bonus to the save.
For them to get the bonus to the save for each day that they have to, for each time that they have to make it, yes. Your heal skill was enough to, it succeeded. It wasn't, luckily, you know, you have the skill and the tools, and it's not, you had the materials there and the place to treat it. basically, you have the equivalent of like fantasy antibiotics there, with like the different herbs and the mixtures and the ointments that are there, and with your work, you successfully applied it to him, and so when he goes to roll his next saving throw, he has an additional +4 bonus. So for him to get that bonus to the second saving throw that he has to make, yeah, you'll have to treat him the next day, succeed at the check, and then that way he'll get another +4 bonus for that second save he has to make.
It's boring.
She relates this that she has to. You would have to come back here another day so I can treat you again.
One of our
your
party members
body
has
can
zombie.
fight the rot.
All right.
A zombie ogre that we killed
You
that
have
exploded and got like
Oh,
pus all over him.
Now, unfortunately, the ability score damage cannot. For some diseases, like you can still heal the ability damage. Like she would be able to do like a long-term care for you, so that you can heal that Constitution back.
Tell me you're just already stealing my stats.
But
unfortunately,
with unfortunately with zombie rot,
and some other people that I just met when I started playing with them.
You cannot. The Constitution damage cannot be healed back until the infection's gone.
Oh, okay.
So it's not permanent.
Huh?
I thought you was about to tell me that shit's permanent.
No, it's not. It's not. No. It's not. It's not. No, it's not permanent.
Damn, motherfucker, Lewis, this is level 1. Calm down.
Damn, yo.
You need to calm down.
It's not. It's not permanent. It's just that he's stuck with the -1 Constitution until he passes both the saves.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then he can get the Constitution healed back.
That is the second roll for Nasir.
That was also for Nasir. I wonder if it's possible to.
I mean, do I even know if I have it? I don't.
Well, I would examine you to determine if you have
Oh,
it.
okay. All right. That makes sense.
And I believe that's what the roll is for. If I find out you have it and then treat you.
You have a suspicion that he's starting to show, like, he doesn't have any of the symptoms, but his body's starting to show signs that he might have it. Until the symptoms start to show, like, you can't really treat it. I mean, he doesn't have to roll any throws for now. But you do have a good indication of when the symptoms might. Since they didn't come in today, there's a chance. What you're gathering at the speed, you compare the speeds of like, and the physical differences between the two, from like how Nasir looks and feels compared to like Narkeem, and you figure Nasir's got another 2 more days before it kicks in. At that point, then he's gonna have to start making those saving throws. You can treat him before it happens. That way, when he has to make that first saving throw, he'll get that +4 bonus.
I'm gonna do that now. Then that was my roll for it. I'll take off 2 charges of my healer's kit.
Does it take a healer's kit charge? For treating disease? Treat disease, action.
It gets a +2 to healing checks. So I'm assuming if I'm adding the +2, that it would take off 2 charges of the healer's kit. Because my heal is only +6, but I'm adding 2 to it.
I know the healer's kit gives you a +2 circumstance bonus. You added that, right?
Yeah, okay. I added that right now.
Okay,
my heal is only for +6.
Okay, the only thing that expends the healer's kit gives +2. I get. Oh, okay. I guess it expends the use. I guess to get the +2 bonus. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So anytime you decide to get the +2 bonus from the healer's kit, yeah, it'll take up one of the uses. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, and
two
I use
uses
2
usually.
charges
All right.
at this point.
All right then. So when the next day comes, Rakeen will make his next 40 saving throw. Well, all that's left is your characters go to the that rusty dragon after being treated.
Thank you,
Swear to
Icarus. I
God, if that
appreciate
boar
it.
guy's there, I'm gonna set him on fire. I'm calling it now. Set him on fucking fire.
Yeah, that's a
I
better
can't set him on
question.
fire because I don't know he's hitting on me.
Who was the guy that said there was somebody else said, "Oh, that's why your mother died too"?
So
Trying to think of who the fuck that was.
it's time to meet up with
Uh,
Shalula. Shalula. Or Shalelu.
Hi.
I'm saying her name all fucked up.
Neutralize
Shalelu.
the fourth level spell.
Shalilu. Shalelu. Alright, so guys get to you go to see Shalelu at the at the eatery section of the inn, at the Rusty Dragon Inn, and you see her and Ameko like chatting and laughing here or there. You can tell that they're between. You can easily tell that the two are. I think she did mention that Ameko's. She did mention that. She had mentioned that she's friends with her. So from what you can get from the gist of their conversation, she's been sharing like what she's been doing, lately and what's been going on during her travels. And when she sees your group arrive, she's like, "Ah, here they are." And she takes a seat. She orders. She gets some drinks ordered for everybody, and she sits and she's got she looks at each of you, and she goes,
Waylon there?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
He said that everyone, so.
Yeah.
Icarus immediately asks, like, is Waylon okay? With like a very concerned voice after yesterday.
A little under the weather, but not physically. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Tragedy is a part of life, but so is joy. There are some good things that I have figured out in the conversations that we had last night. Solutions to the problem that we have. Especially when we sat down and we had that meeting with the people of the town yesterday. I feel that the recent attack has truly galvanized the town towards a little more, I would have to say, what is the word I am looking for? Wariness towards the goblin invasion that seems to be plaguing the city. What troubles me is actually the necromancer part of the whole situation. I mean, I get the fact that they have been dealing with goblins for quite some time, and that the fires that have started before are rumored to have been started by goblins. That rumor was confirmed by a friend of mine that I made recently over at the store shop known as Bottle Solutions. He specifically said that we saved his shop from being burned down by the goblins. So since we are a reoccurring problem, that is mainly the reason for our exploding popularity. But what truly worries me is the fact that we are facing someone who is wielding power of necromancy, and we have no leads to this person's identity or whereabouts. We'll stop that soon enough. Let's hear what this woman has to say. We have much work to do.
So, she asks, she goes, so, let me hear from you all how things had gone that day at the festival, right? So, after she asked that, your characters, pretty much give her the information of how that day had happened, and from the moment the goblins attacked all the way to the end, and obviously like what you discovered like the day after. So she nods, she's listening intently. She goes, "All right, well, my turn." She's like, "Hopefully this will be of use." Sure, it will be. So she unrolls, she takes out like a scroll and unrolls it, and it's a map. All right, so the map that she has actually looks, similar to the one right in front of you. So she goes, as I mentioned earlier, there's 5 major goblin tribes in the region. The closest ones to Sandpoint are known as the Bird Cruncher Goblins. They live in the caves along the western edge of Devil's Platter. Then she goes, although traditionally those goblins are actually the least aggressive of the 5. Now to the south are the Lick-Toad Goblins of the Brine Stump Marsh. Pests who are excellent swimmers.
Goblins who are excellent swimmers. I've never heard of such a thing.
We got the Bird Cruncher. Actually, that color is not coming out. Maybe I'll make it red. Maybe blue. Okay.
Is that the path that they took? Or is that like where they're known to be?
Okay,
never mind.
I'm basically putting the name over like the area that they're
like the region that they're in.
Yeah, she said like the western edge of Devil's Plaza, like around here, pretty much. And then she said in Brine Stump Marsh.
Now, we already confirmed that it was a mixture of different tribes of goblins, right?
Yeah, she's telling you each of them right now. She said these are the Lick-Toad. Lick-Toad.
Just want to make sure I have this in my notes.
The Lick-Toads over in Brine Stump Marsh. And then she goes, now, to the south of the Lick... Oh, no, she already mentioned that. East of the Seven-Tooth Goblins. Those are located in Shanks Wood. Seven-Tooth. And then they have actually secured a place for themselves by raiding Sandpoint's junkyard and rebuilding the stolen refuse into armor and weapons. Now farther east are the Mosswood Goblins, likely the largest tribe, but they're traditionally held back by feuding families within their own ranks. The Mosswood. Oh, they're just Mosswood tribe. Same as the name of the fucking forest. All right.
What was the name of that last one?
Mosswood.
No, the goblins. Okay. Oh, they're just called mosswood goblins.
The mosswood goblins. And finally, there are the thistletop goblins. They live on the Nettlewood coast, atop a small island that some say holds a passing resemblance to a decapitated head. The thistletop goblin. Goblins tend to live short, violent lives, as you've probably witnessed. So it's unusual for a single goblin to achieve any real measure of notoriety. But when one does, it is well earned. Currently, 6 goblins in the region do enjoy the status of being their tribe's the hero. She puts in quotes. There's Big Gugmut, who's an unusually muscular and tall goblin from Mosswood, who, stories say, had a hobgoblin for a mother and a wild boar for a father.
Man.
Then there's Corvus, a champion of the Seven-Tooth tribe, well known for his short temper, as he was for his prized possession. He's gotten the hold of a magic longsword, clearly sized for a human being, but he stubbornly decided to keep it, despite it being improperly large to wield. Although, they say he vanished about several months ago after he supposedly discovered a secret hideout in a cave along the cliffs. But those seven-toothed goblins, they still remain convinced that he's still out there, maybe as a ghost or worse, waiting to murder any goblin who tries to discover his hideout. And then there's Vorka, a notorious goblin cannibal, who lives in the Brine Stump Marsh. A hero mostly to goblins other than the Lick Toad tribe. And we got Rendwaddle Gutwad, rather obese chieftain of the Brine Stump goblins, corpulent monster. Said he never leaves his throne. And then there's Rip Nugget, the leader of the Thistletop goblins.
You said Rip Nugget?
Rip Nugget. The leader of the Thistletop
Sounds like you're gonna take a shit.
The leader of the Thistletop goblins controls what the 5 tribes agree is the best lair. Finally, there's Bruthosmus. Bruthosmus. Now, this one, very different than all the rest, because this one's he's a goblinoid, but not a goblin. Actually a rather infamous bugbear.
Oh, shit.
A bugbear who follows the path of the ranger. Lives in northern Nettlewood. Known to often visit the 5 tribes to trade things he's stolen from caravans for either alcohol, news, magic arrows. He's got a particular hatred of elves. And
fun.
I've battled him on several occasions. Haven't been able to get the upper hand on him, though.
Someone's background is on, and I care that their TV or whatever. Does someone have like their?
No, I don't hear it.
You don't hear anything?
No.
What do you hear?
It sounds
I
like you
hear
hear
like
somebody's TV
someone's
on or
TV
something.
or like radio in the background.
No, I'll hear it.
Definitely not me.
That's good now. I got turned down. That's good enough.
Okay.
Never mind. I guess I'm tripping. No one, you guys don't hear it, but I do. All right, good.
But she goes, that's all the information I have here. You can keep this. And she like slides over the map to you guys.
So we about to go bop the 4 king gods, the 4 goblin kings real quick.
She's like, well, you can do with that information as you wish. I mean, there's no request for you guys to go out goblin hunting unless that's what you feel like doing. I just figured this information would be very useful for you in case you encounter them again, or in case you decide to investigate, just as I have been. She yawns.
And you know what this reminds me of? Out of character. You got to go kill the 4 Goblin Kings to
Zelda.
crack the seal on some demon lord. It's fucking bastard. Oh shit.
Yep.
We're gonna find out Quindamir really has like some fucking dark ancient wizard inside of him.
Oh, you talking that?
To
Oh,
get released the first time a girl kisses
the
him.
bastard anime. Yeah,
Yeah,
that shit.
Mhm.
That
that's what just came to my head. Just
That
now.
anime is fucking wild.
Lewis is stealing plot points.
Still on
Yeah,
plot
I'm kidding.
points.
He's not doing plot points. So she's like, well, I'm gonna go get some rest. I need to enter my trance. Looking forward to seeing you all again soon. She goes to go call it a night after finishes a meal.
Mm.
Downs her drink.
I don't think it's smart to go after every goblin organization. I feel like we'd be wasting a lot of time and resources to do such a thing.
You may have a point. But we have to at least go after one of them. My suggestion is to take down the one that is nearer to Sandpoint. Because, to be honest with you, the goblins probably are not going to stop.
Mm.
Not unless there is a decisive blow made. All we have done until this point is pretty much defend ourselves. We will have to take some sort of offensive action, or they will never learn.
I agree with Waylon. We have to cut the head off.
Of course, the Slayer
Stop this
wants to
problem.
slay.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said, of course, the Slayer wants to slay.
Slayer's gonna slay, baby.
Goblin
Right.
Slayer.
He's like, yeah, we should kill him. Like, of course you fucking should that way. Was anyone taking notes? But can you refresh my memory? Which
It was
goblin
a
was
lot
the
to
one?
take.
Yeah, there was a lot of. Yeah.
I got where all the goblins are located. I don't have all the names except for Butt Nugget.
Yeah,
Rip Nugget.
Black Nugget.
I'll post them all in WhatsApp later for you.
Black Nugget.
But they were.
Can we make a note and put it in row 22?
But
so I
there,
can
yeah,
read it later?
they were Big Gutnut, Corvus, Vorka, Rendwab, Gutwad, Rip Nugget, and Bruthosmus.
Rip Nugget.
Rip Nugget, son. Yeah, Rip Nugget, son.
It's like it's like another way to say shart. You go to like rip a fart and you fucking bust out a nugget. I got a rip nugget.
Ning.
I gotta change my underwear. I just rip nuggeted.
Do you guys believe that this is a this person who is conspiring with undead would be a goblin? I feel like this is too far-fetched to be true. Goblins are clever, but they are not that clever.
Well, we already saw over by the what does you call it? The tomb. He was a tomb. Where we fought the giant ogre zombie, we definitely noticed that there were footprints that were bigger than the goblins. So they are in league with something else for sure. And that's something else we confirmed when we saw the robes outside of the crypt, that they definitely are tied to the necromancer, which is the bigger threat, in my opinion.
Hmm. Maybe we will learn more if we go find these characters, these goblin heroes that she mentioned. We have nothing else to go on.
This is true.
We still never followed the tracks out of the the cemetery area. Do we have any idea which way, which group would be in the direction that those were going? Can we still follow those?
I mean, some of you.
I don't know how good of a tracker you are, my friend. I know my own skills as far as tracking is concerned are novice. So I could pretty much tell you that unless the tracks are fresh, I myself would not be able to really follow them.
Waylon,
Well,
my brother, you can leave the tracking to me.
what do you mean? Since when do you track? I do not remember you ever tracking, brother.
Oh,
Are
yes.
you sure about this? You can track. All right. I did not know this.
If we have a tracker, then this is already. Then it is a easy conclusion. Let's go see where the tracks lead. Maybe we will get more information on how to move next. Otherwise, we can wait until the morning to go to the place on our map. Right? She marked it on our map, I'm assuming, right? Or she just telling us offhandedly.
She handed us the map with the markers of the locations on there already.
All right, so we can do that. We can do it now. It's probably better for us to go and follow tracks now than later. Isn't that right, Calden?
Yes, I agree.
If you want me to go with you, I can go with you. I can go with you if you want, you know.
I don't think that would be a good idea for you to come with me.
Which amongst us speak Goblin, actually? Because
all right, if that's what you say, brother.
A good question would be, unless you plan to go and kill every Goblin you see, even if you are able to do such a thing, which I am not against, it would not yield any information, because unless you have magic, dead people do not speak, and we do need answers. So, who here is able to communicate with goblins?
I can.
So you mean to tell me the one who wants to kill them the most is the only one who is able to actually speak?
I don't think I'm the only one in our group that can speak to goblins.
I certainly hope not. I was hoping that Icarus had some sort of way of communicating with them.
You know, I can speak the language of the goblins too, you know.
Oh, then it is set. We should definitely go then, brother.
And we should all go together.
I agree.
Go together.
You guys go back to the spot where the tracks are at, and unfortunately, they a
Jackson gone.
little bit too old.
Exactly. Didn't I tell you as much? We wasted our time, come on, yeah.
One with a lot more skill
Well,
probably could have done it, but level 1 survival skills not cut.
exactly.
This dude was saying that you ain't got no tracking skills. That's crazy.
He's got tracking skills, not a.
That's not tracking
Not
days
enough.
old, like.
Yeah,
My dude
not
said, leave it to me.
Right now at level 1, I only got
A
a
few
+1
minutes
bonus.
later, I'm so
I don't
sorry,
even think you
guys.
put a
I
right
cannot
bit.
find this
Oh
track.
yeah, he didn't even put any right. You have to do that next
That's
level.
why I was surprised when he said he could track. I'm like, I've never seen you track before.
He's only
I
got
was
the.
low key trying to tell him like,
He's
yo,
only-
I played your character, you don't have it.
I played your
He's only got.
He
He's
starts
only got the
following-
bonus from being
Well,
a
I have-
slayer. That's it.
He starts
Yeah.
following some tracks, and we're like, God damn it, those are ours. What are you doing?
God damn it, those are ours. Yo, that's funny,
Like,
son. Yo,
I
roleplay
told
that
you,
out, son.
I could have sworn that. Yeah, of course I was right. As usual, I've never had to use track in my entire life, and I have lived a long time, Khalid.
But your characters hear the bells
That's
sounding in the
freaking
distance,
great.
marking the end of the business day. So it is getting that time to party the rest and start a new day. So after the unfortunate, after the unfortunate scenario of unable to track what was left of the tracks that the goblins and that larger humanoid had made. Go back and your character.
That was probably him too.
Characters decide to rest and think about what to do next after tomorrow. And Rakeem, you can make your fortitude saving throw.
+4.
The next year +4 competence bonus to your save.
Does that drop too because my con is down? Like,
yeah,
it's normally +5.
It's normally +5, and you lost 1 point, right? And I think it dropped you to like a new bonus. Yeah. So then, yeah, it would drop add 4. So I guess add 3 to whatever it is. Yeah. +8 then. Yeah.
All right.
1d20 +8 for the fortitude. Let's see if the zombie rot continues to rot. Your skin starts to look gangrenous. Green.
And some
Slimy.
man start falling apart.
All right,
Start losing limbs.
Look them up here. I'm tired of trying to type this out. So there's the D20. Woo! And then +8.
Ooh, +8.
22.
All right, that was a successful save. You don't feel any worse. So Icarus's treatment definitely stabbed it off for
Helpful.
another day. Oh, one more saving throw and the infection is gone, pretty much. So you'll find out the next day. Hopefully that doesn't fail.
That's crazy.
I have a feeling I'm not going to
Does he get the +4 bonus the next day too, or does he need to be treated again?
I get treated again, yeah.
He needs to be treated again.
Yeah.
It's cheese, man. You
Somebody.
gave us some cheesy ass fucking World War Z virus.
Dies, becomes a zombie monk. No, actually,
Right.
That'd be so fucked.
Zombie monk.
No,
could you
well,
imagine?
he'd have no intelligence. No, the class levels would be gone.
So he would bop the party.
Not even, yeah.
As a monk, you got the stagger effect. You can only take like a move or a standard. So that monk mobility got severely reduced.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, I don't know which characters.
I mean, it's too bad that we're not level 5, because then this wouldn't be an issue at all.
Right.
Right.
This is how he builds it. So your characters, you know, you're free to, you know, do what you want for the day. You notice that townspeople are like looking towards you a lot more because the sheriff's not around, and he's informed your characters, you know, to like hang around, until he gets
So
back.
people are like looking to us for like
Yeah, the sheriff's not there because
support
he
and
went
shit.
to, yeah, he went to Magnamar to go recruit more
This guy went to
soldiers,
Magnamar. Damn.
to recruit more soldiers to come help out in town. So he's like, you know, he had told your characters, you know, townsfolk really look up to you, and you know, they see you as like their saviors pretty much from any future goblin attacks, because everybody knows
This
how
guy
well you
said,
how
"Oh, I
well you
guess fuck me then."
handle them. So
He just went to Magnamar. That's what we get for holding that damn Gizarm or whatever, fucking barely using it, bitch. Anyway, yeah. All right. So next day, you know what I gotta do? I gotta make my spells and probably just keep my slots open.
Everyone spends majority of the day running around trying to do some.
I don't got no money, so I might as well. Quindamere is ready to go whenever.
So your characters,
Yeah,
you know, they're
same here.
eating, you know, you're all eating together, ready to discuss like, you know, what it is that you plan to do, you know, both together or as, you know, or individually. This, you know, stuff you got to get done in town. And you know, as you were finishing up, you know, your breakfast and whatnot, it's about, you know, it's been a couple of hours after you woke up, and you know, got yourselves ready. Did you exercise? Did your mental exercises? Did you prepared any spells that you needed to, that you wanted to prepare? If you didn't, you know, I know you mentioned leaving some slots open for later. You know, Icarus did her meditation to replenish her magic. Bethana, the halfling, that, you know, your characters had first met when you came here, and she's been mostly your server and helper, you know, making sure your rooms are clean, all that other stuff, and she comes up to your group, looking obviously pretty upset, and she goes, "May I speak with you all?"
I am all ears. And
For
then,
you, my dear.
pun intended.
She goes, "Well,
Ha
I had awoke earlier this morning to find that Amiko hadn't already started breakfast, and she's never done that before. This is the first time, in fact, ever since I've worked for her. I know the last I saw her, she was talking
Oh shit.
with Shilalu yesterday, and then she told me to finish up the duties around the inn, and she had to be alone for a while. And I hadn't seen her all night, and she wasn't here at all this morning, and I went to check on her in her room. She's not even in her room. So
Excuse me?
as it was, I grew even more worried, and yeah, against my better judgment, I searched around her room. In fact, it didn't even look like she had slept in her bed. But I did find this, and she unrolls like a crumpled piece of parchment. And she's like, "I found this near the bed. It's a note from her older brother, Suto. And she hands it out. So whoever wants to grab it can take it, but she hands it out towards your group to show you the note.
Icarus, no?
I'll hold it.
So it takes hold of it. You open it and you look at the language that it's written in, and it's actually written in Minkayan. And she goes,
I don't know what that is.
it's like the equivalent of like Japanese.
Okay.
It's like the Galarian equivalent of Japanese. So she goes, are you able to read that script?
Icarus shakes her head, no.
She's like,
Can I attempt to use my linguistics to see if I can read anything?
Yeah, you can make a linguistics check to see, to get an idea of what it's generally about.
Okay, let me see. I got.
But she does beckon to she beckons to Icarus to like I guess to kneel down because she's short. You know, she's a halfling, so still like to like kneel down. And she walks over to like to Icarus's side so that she can like peer at the letter with her.
Okay.
And then you got Caldum looking over. Like,
Caldum also goes over to look.
Yeah. All right. Recognize. You've seen these characters before. From people who have traveled from the far north. You know, during your 100-something years of your life. And you do recall that these are indeed Minkayan script, and like the gist of the letter appears to be it appears to be like a letter written about it's like it looks more like a letter to like his sister. You're able to make out just a few words, something about Sandpoint and like a request that he's making to her, but that's like really the most you could get.
Okay. And I'll relay that to everybody.
What does he say, Caldon?
So
these. Oh, Lewis, did you?
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say when she had told Icarus to like kneel down so that she could look at the letter with her. She actually says, Bethana says, I do know how to read Minkayan. I've been learning this language over the past few years. Amako's been teaching me.
Did that for nothing.
Right on your toes.
I mean, she's here like, I know a couple of those words. She's like, sit down, tall one.
Well, what she had done is she handed it over, and she was like, if you guys can't read it, I'll read it for you. But she wasn't assuming that characters didn't know how to read it. She was assuming the opposite, that somebody might have known. But seeing that nobody does, she's like, I'll read it for you. Because she's like, she's been teaching me Minkayan for the past few years.
Linguistics is not my forte, to be honest with you. I am more, how should I say, good with my hands.
Linguistics. I'm curious. What did you get total at 22?
Language that I did not yet study. Soon I will be able to speak this language. Trust me on that one. Kayan, you say. I wonder if I could
decipher
find out just how
writing,
similar this language
20
is to
puts
something else that he's
25 for
learned.
standard text, and 30. Okay, an unfamiliar language or message written in. Okay, so it is an unfamiliar language. The DC
And
is
Rakim, why are you coughing so much?
DC is 25 for standard text. Okay, so I'd say it was DC 25. You
seem
understand
to
the
have come
general
down
content
with
of
a illness of some sort.
So
Nothing
it
to,
seems.
nothing to worry about.
The DC would have been 25 for him to
in
get
good
a lot more
hands.
information from that.
I
And you got a
certainly hope so
22?
because
Yeah, it's 22.
Icarus is standing right over here. And it is very disturbing because every time you clear your throat, the mask is made out of, what do you call it, cloth. So whenever you clear your throat, it doesn't little wavy thing in front of your face as if it were alive or a flag that you are wearing.
Damn.
Holy, that's what's going
Here it
on.
goes.
Talking shit about him. Sick.
Oh.
Right.
Well,
fucking ableist.
I was going based on the image that I saw that you guys put up. Like it was like a cloth mask that hung in front of your face. What kind of mask is it then?
I think it was like a cloth thing.
It's
But
cloth?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought it was like
it's the I think the bottom
clay
half was
mask or
cloth,
something.
but
thought it was
I
like
said that there's
Majora's
like
mask or something.
Right.
No, I believe originally the bottom half is like it's cloth, but I'm also wearing it's like a I don't know, one of those
Like
white
a veil.
porcelain fucking looking masks, you know what I mean? But it's got that unamused,
Draping.
look on it.
But
as long as you are okay, because it is one thing to wear your mask, but to cough, and I believe that sounded like a very wet one, to cough inside of your mask, that doesn't seem too healthy to me.
so
But
she,
to each his own.
as your
Licorice chimes in. I've helped take care of him, so hopefully his ailments will subside in due time.
so Bithana goes, here you go. Right? So you notice that she had taken the letter and she had written on the opposites on the other side of the letter. She translated the whole thing. She wrote it out for you guys to. I don't know if this will pop up. Did that pop up? Did that pop up? Did anything pop up?
I still see the map.
No.
The map.
Did not pop up. That's because I gotta change this to this. Did that pop up?
Nope.
Really?
Those either. Yeah, all I see is the map still.
I would not out of here.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
I zoomed out all the way, so
All right. Did that pop up?
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Hello, sis. Hope the stutter finds you.
No dude said, hello, sis.
Who here has the nicest voice? Can't we read it out loud for us? That way we don't have to lean over each other's shoulders. Especially if Rakim is over here coughing. I do not want to catch whatever he had. No offense, my brother.
Sorry, I was reading the letter. What were you talking to me?
Oh yeah, you were saying that someone with a nice voice should read the letter out loud for everyone. That way we don't have to lean over each other trying to read it. Especially if one of us is sick.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to lean in. None taken. I wouldn't want anyone coughing on me either.
Let me zoom in on this shit. Hang on.
I would say you could click the zoom.
Yeah, I got it.
Should be a lot easier to read.
Isn't the gnome reading it or the
She
halfling?
wrote she wrote it out on the opposite side of the other side of the page.
Oh.
She like translated it by writing it out on the other side.
Hang on. We can change the size on that shit. Well, then Calvin can flip it to what she wrote, and he says, "I'm gonna read the whole thing." Which is,
Of course.
"Hello, sis. I hope this letter finds you well and with some free time on your hands, because we've got something of a problem. It's to do with father. Seems that he might have had something to do with Sandpoint's recent troubles with the goblins, and I didn't want to bring the matter to the authorities, because we both know he'd just weasel his way out of it. You've got some pull here with in town though. If you can meet me at the Glassworks at midnight tonight, maybe we can figure out how to make sure he faces the punishment he deserves. Knock twice, and then 3 times more, and then once more at the delivery entrance, and I'll let you in. In any case, I don't have to impress upon you the delicate nature of this request. If news, you know, these local rubes would assume that you and I were in on the whole thing too, don't you? They've got no honor at all around these parts. I still don't understand how you can stand to stay here. Anyway, don't tell anyone about this. There are other complications as well. Ones I'd rather talk to you in person about tonight. Don't be late. Suto." This is such a weird way to talk to your family members. I feel like they could just... Maybe they are not very close, like you and I are. Wait. Does anyone else make any sense of this?
I have been feeling that way about the entire place of Sandpoint when I first got here. It feels like family is a foreign word to every cita from here.
It is quite possible the sentiment gets lost in translation.
Maybe this is a translation after all. But it seems like there is at least something going down at the Glassworks. What time is it now?
It is mid-morning. And Bethana says, actually, no, it's just a couple of hours after you guys woke up. So, like, I don't know, like the equivalent of like, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock around there. And Bethana...
If she got this letter yesterday, or maybe the day before, and then midnight last night, she did not come home. Obviously, she went to go see her brother. It's possible we might want to investigate the Glassworks before we take care of the goblins.
Bethana, she goes, it's been a long time since she's seen her brother Suto. He was born just a year before her. And, well, unlike a Mako, Suto is a half-elf. And neither of Amako's parents are elves. So, as you can see, it became apparent to Lonjigu, the father, that, well, Suto wasn't really his son.
Seems like the Kaijitsus have a lot to talk about.
That old man was in such a rage when he discovered his wife indiscretion, and the whole town was talking about it for months. So, unfortunately, she's never revealed who the father was. Although, due to his stubbornness and the fact that they are a noble family, they remained married. He put Suto over at the Turandarak Academy. to be raised outside of the Kaijitsu family. And he was been ignored by his father, and he was forbidden to even visit his mother. So Ameko, she was visiting him in secret when she learned about him at the age of 10. She visited him a few times a month, keep him company, bring him food, and promised him someday things would get sorted out. But that changed. That changed just a few years ago. They had a terrible argument, Suto and Ameko. From what I know, Suto struck her. I don't know what the argument was about.
Someone has gone through so much abuse.
I don't know what the argument was about, but whatever it was,
He attacked his own sister.
it sent whatever it was that they argued about. It sent her away from Sandpoint for about a year, and she had made a living as an adventurer before she came back. She returned to attend her mother's funeral, and Suto made sure he was very public in his opinions about his father having pushed his wife Atsui off a cliff to her death. And so during the funeral, there was a confrontation between him and Lonjiku. And Lonjiku actually nearly broke his jaw with his cane. Suto cursed him and left Sandpoint. Mako tried to contact her brother again ever since, but she was never able to track him down. And now
he suddenly reaches back out to her, and now she goes missing, not telling anyone where she has gone. And you, a good friend, I'm sure, of Lady Kaijitsu, and now you want us to go investigate. Yes, we get it.
She looks like her face is really sullen, and her eyes get worried. She's like, she's such a good person. She's been so good to me. I fear she had to have gone to the Glassworks. I fear the worst.
Who has good sense motive here?
Suto's definitely up to no good.
I do.
What's your sense motive? What's the highest sense motive we have?
+6.
All right, then. Work your magic.
Quindamir looks around. He looks over. He looks over to
Everyone looks at the rest of the party like,
around the party he looks over Rakeen like, what do you think?
21.
Mine's +5, so I'll roll 2.
Yeah, everyone should be trying to.
I mean, yeah, technically,
everyone
can roll. But obviously, the people with the higher modifiers are going to have a big chance of.
Unless you're Caldum. Oh! Or Nasir. God damn. That's 2 1s tonight, bro. Thank God you ain't rolling saving throws. Shit.
Nasir's the wrong idea. Nasir's like, this bitch is lying.
Yo, for real though, with a 1, you should definitely come out your face mad incorrect right now, son.
Mad incorrect.
Yo, this bitch is lying, son. You don't know her.
I don't know why, but I think she's lying.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just have a feeling. Like, look at the wrong feeling.
And then Rakeen's like, no, brother, I definitely feel like she's telling the truth. Who's telling the truth? I don't know what's going on.
Why would he be saying it in your accent?
Is anybody else rolling any sense motives, or just you 3?
I hate you so much.
Waylon doesn't roll sense motive.
Yeah, I don't roll sense motive.
Because it all tracks for him. Because
he takes it at face value pretty much. He's like, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of family problems in this whole place.
Rakeem, you not entirely sure,
Roth, man. He ain't gonna be running up on
you
his
have
own
a
shit.
you have a somewhat
else,
you're leaning towards like
Mm-hmm.
something going down at the Glassworks, and that probably should get checked out for sure.
So what was that with 21? She sounds like she's on the up and up.
Oh, you didn't even add
Mm.
the modifier. So you
Nah.
got. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't
I
add it.
for
It's
some reason I'm
21.
looking at it like I thought. So it's 21, not 15. Actually no. All right, with the 21, then, you definitely have a hunch that like, you know, all of it's legitimate, and like there's something big going on at the Glassworks, and it's best to go check it out as soon as possible, if anything.
Mm.
Bill?